Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Mm.
Um, are we waiting on Heartless or are we ready to start?
I think Heartless is
I'm
good.
here. I'm good.
Yeah.
I
We're
don't
just
see you
doing
in the
quick.
guest star. Are good
He's
or
not.
bad?
He's not. He's not there. He's not there. Sadly,
Okay, cool.
sadly, Heartless isn't there. But I'm just gonna add him because you're gonna show up, Jerem, regardless, because you're on the guest star. So I'm gonna just add him as a guest manually because this is kind of dumb. Welcome in, folks. Welcome, welcome.
I have
Sorry
to get
that
myself.
took so late. We kind of were just working through some shit on the
We're
back
still
end.
working through the bugs to get everything smooth right from the launch.
Right.
So bear with us, guys.
Yeah, plus, I'm still recovering from the crash. I feel like that's one of the reasons why this took such a weird turn just now.
We appreciate your patience. If you guys want to talk in chat, tell us what you're doing for this Easter. We'd love to hear it.
Mhm.
Did you guys get that money egg? I want to hear it because I need to borrow money. I'm kidding.
You need a raid setup? I do have a raid setup. What do you mean? I definitely had a raid setup, bro. Did you raid just now, Cash? Oh yeah, so you golden? Yeah, bro. Welcome in, by the way.
Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome in. We got six
Welcome
people
in. Happy
currently in the chat.
Easter, all.
Mm-mm. Gonna
Stuffed with
make.
chocolate bunnies and Cadbury eggs, jelly beans of all flavors and textures. This is the best holiday. I love it.
I just want to make sure I see Heartless in the thing. I see you. I'll fix this later. All right, so let's just get into all the pleasantries right now. Let's see if I've gotten better with my introduction.
We'll get you the countdown, Cash. One, two.
Hold up. Here we go.
Get it out. Get it out.
All right, let's do this. All right. Welcome to the Gamer Actual Podcast, the weekly podcast discussing some of the biggest in gaming news. You can find us on all major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/gameractual. Now, this podcast is brought to you in part by the guys over at X Elements. To find out more about X Elements, go check out the podcast notes below. Now, with all that said, I'm your host, Cash, and with me today, I got my host, Germ, and the Heartless. Fellas, what's good? Welcome to the stream. What's good?
God damn.
There we go. There we go. See,
Look
I'm
at that
getting better at
smooth
it.
intro,
I'm
Cash.
You
getting
Oh,
gotta
that's
clip
sweet.
that. You
Got
gotta
the
clip
it.
that.
hype.
Oh, that's got to get clipped.
Yeah.
Somebody clip that, please.
Roll that
Uh,
back and record it. Let's go.
All right.
welcome in,
Um,
everybody. It's the Heartless.
welcome,
Mm-hmm.
welcome in. We have a great show for you today.
Yeah, pretty good. So before we get into like the main topics, like some of the games that came out this week were Dragon's Dogma, Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, and South Park Snow Day, Outpost Infinity Siege. Am I saying that correctly? Yeah, Infinity Siege. What are your thoughts? Let's skip the Dragon's Dogma because that's kind of the meat and potatoes of this whole like podcast right
Makes
now.
sense.
So we're gonna start with the Rise of the Road and Germ. What do you think about it? And Heartless, you can let the people know what
Um,
your thoughts are.
it's the game is cool. It seems like it's continuing with this Souls gameplay that's really trendy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a little bit of it on stream this week, and the game looks very much like Sekiro, where you have it's set in like a medieval feudal Japan samurai era, and there's like these demon family thing, and it reminds me a lot of Castlevania plot wise, where
Mm-hmm.
there's like these demons that are Onimusha kind of thing, where you have to go slay the demons to um, complete these quests and stuff. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very much like that. It's got fast Onimusha Sekiro style gameplay. The swords move fast. So if you're into that, this would be a game for you, I think, if anyone's into that.
Okay.
Personally, for me, I
Mm-hmm.
don't like that super fast style gameplay. I like more slower Dark Souls style. That's more my thing. So I'll probably won't pick this up, but I would love to hear what you think, Heartless.
Well, I mean, I've been dying to try Sekiro, so if this is like that, then this is definitely a game that's on my radar. And as opposed to Dragon's Dogma, which is a single player game, this has the multiplayer aspects as well. So that is like more intriguing to me because everyone this week seems to be like, "Oh, you getting Dragon's Dogma or Rise of the Ronin?" And as we all know, the economy is not quite set up for us to get both.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
So I would definitely pick this over Dragon's Dogma if you're asking me.
Mm. All right, so
I would put myself on the other side of that fence. For
yeah,
sure.
so what I've noticed about Rise of the Ronin, one, it's from Team Ninja, the same guys that recently made Wulong Fallen Dynasty, and I think it looks pretty similar to that. And I think they also made a game called Nero. I don't know how to pronounce that game properly because I never really played the
Yep.
game, but I have a friend who's a big fan of that game, that series, because I think they have 1 and 2, right, from Team Ninja, and
Yeah.
he's been comparing it a lot to Neo 2 or some shit, and he's saying that the graphics, he's not really a fan of what the game looks like graphically. It looks like it feels like the game should have looked a lot better than what it actually is.
From what I've seen on the gameplay on streams I've watched,
Mhm.
the characters seem really, really small. And I've seen like when they're fighting the bosses arenas, they're really small and tight. And I was having trouble keeping track of what's happening on the screen, to be honest, because everything is so small, for the most smaller than what I was expecting it to be to get,
Right.
So that felt difficult to watch, but maybe it's different playing, so I don't know. But
Yeah. I think the
the
game
game
has
seems
some
cool and
promise.
it's a
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive, so PlayStation, reunite.
Right. The
You
game
guys are
seems like it
making
has some kind of
$50
promise though. The game looks like it has a little promise to it. I can say that.
I forgot it was a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh yeah?
I did, and that's a bummer.
Yeah, no, I just think
That's a bummer.
exclusives in general are a bummer. I don't like exclusives at all. I really wish the industry would just get rid of exclusives.
Oh really?
Yeah, just overall, with the
I
exception of
mean, I'm
Nintendo.
bummed out.
To
So I'm on
some
Germ side today.
Oh, really? Nah, to me, I kind of feel like again, it kind of again, if a system doesn't have its exclusives, it's like it's more of people having a preference of consoles at that point. That's how I look at it. It kind of diminishes the value of having a console per se.
I like
That's
the
good.
idea of having multi console because it gives the most amount of players to play with, especially for multiplayer games. I think
Yeah,
all of
for
those
sure.
be 100% cross console. Single player, there's a debate there, but multiplayer it must always be multi console in my opinion.
It's kind of ironic. The Rise of the Ronin is the multiplayer game between Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin, and it's exclusive. And Dragon's Dogma 2 is on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, it drops
I
day
mean,
one on PC. I didn't know that. Dragon's Dogma.
look at each time a game has come to like Steam or something like Ryzen, and then it's come to another to Steam or to another console.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, brings new life to a game, and like, why not just do that right from the start? But whatever, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on the South Park game?
This game is definitely right up my alley. This cartoony RPG style gameplay and the tongue-in-cheek comedy, I like this. Like, this is a game that I would play on my Switch, like I've said before. I don't know if it's available on Switch, but it is not. Only place. Oh, it is Nintendo Switch. So this would be a game I would pick up on my Switch to play. Just have a couple laughs, have some fun. And me and Harlot were talking about it earlier. The game is got the art style of South Park, but it's in a 3D environment. Never seen that before, so that's super cool. That sets it apart. So
that really surprised me and blew me away.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
and I just really it kind of feels like that. You're playing out in the snow with your kid when you were kids, playing out on snowy days when school was out, and you just go out and throw snowballs at each other. This game feels like that, but with all sorts of fun RPG elements.
It still kind of it still
you
holds
know?
on to like that almost that stop motion animation style that South Park
It
has.
does.
It still
I
looks
really
like
like
that.
the
It looks
way the
cool.
game. I really like the presentation of the game. I really, really do.
I wonder if you think they're probably toying with the idea of just kind of changing, make South Park look like this, like officially now. Because I could I could go for South Park looking like this, to be honest, like the actual
Yeah,
show.
that would be cool. How many years has South Park been on TV now?
Since
What,
the
20
'90s.
maybe.
years?
Since the
Yeah,
90s.
something
So,
like that.
hmm
It, it maybe it's time for something fresh on that show.
this
Could
looks cool
be.
though.
And
It
I
looks
like
cool.
how the game is made by THQ, which is it's got the snow element to it, which THQ is a Canadian company. So
hmm
I think. So it's kind of cool that, a company like that would make this snow battle game. I think that's kind of cool. It's a great tribute
hmm
to that area.
I like it. It's cool.
I like it. This would be a game I would probably pick up. I can't say I would probably play it all the way through, but I
hmm
think I could put hours and hours and hours into this and not feel bad about it. Because it seems like it's lining into all of those RPG tropes and making fun of it and making light of it, which is this is exactly what South Park does in their shows, so who wouldn't like that?
Right.
Uh, I'm sold. I would buy this.
I'm sold too. I would love to watch somebody play this on stream.
I was about to say
Yeah.
that we could definitely do like a community night with that game on stream. It could
Is
be
the game
definitely something we play with
multiplayer?
viewers.
How much is the game?
I'm not sure. I'd have to check the price.
Yeah, and the game is multiplayer. You can play with up to 3 friends.
Oh wow.
Mm.
So 4 people total. So yeah, so I think the game would be great for community night
Yeah.
for sure.
Let me see. It's on Steam.
You
It's
could
20.
have
It's
2
actually 20.
separate
It's
streams
$30.
going with
It's
yeah.
$30.
That's
Yeah,
a good.
it's
That's a
steal.
good price.
Yeah. Because
What a
again,
steal.
it's not a AAA game, so I didn't expect anything shorter of that. So
What a steal. I would buy this for sure. And I would play it in a public place without headphones on. I would offend everyone around me. 'Cause, this is the kind of game I would do that with my Switch.
yeah, this looks fun. I'm definitely gonna check this
I
out.
think this would be a great community night game, and like emerging co-op games like Helldivers has done, like great that games that are co-op like this are starting to make a real
Mm,
comeback.
Right.
Um,
Um.
I hope this trend continues. Please, game
Right.
developers, listen to it.
All right. So another game that came out this week was Outpost Infinity Siege. What are your thoughts on that, Germ?
This is a game that I'm not overly familiar with. Today was, or just when you released these notes, was the first time I had heard about it. But
Mm,
from watching the trailer and reading the comments, it looks a lot like Titanfall, like a Titanfall kind of mech building game. So
I
which is
know. I
cool.
noticed the mech building.
yeah.
I never played Titanfall, but Titanfall seems to have like
Whoa,
a
whoa, 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 whoa,
really
whoa!
major.
Stop right there. You never did what?
I never played Titanfall.
No,
Never
you need
played.
to
I'm
get
not a shooter. I'm
Titanfall.
not a shooter fan. You guys know this. I'm not a fan of. I don't play shooters. Never
Bro,
played Titanfall,
bro.
but the game seems pretty cool. It looks like it has a greater, better, like sort of loadout thing than Titanfall did. So
You
I mean,
need to
the game
get
works.
a hand on Titanfall ASAP. I think the game's currently on sale
Make
for
that
like $4 or
make that a
$5.
community night game. Make that a community
We've
night
had
game.
community
Cash.
nights with Titanfall before.
We'll do it again. I'll jump in.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
I'll give my reason to jump in.
I still haven't played with Heartless yet, and I know Heartless has
I
a game.
purchased Titanfall for
Yeah.
like $3 on sale.
Yeah, it goes on sale a
Yeah,
lot of
same.
times, bro. Like very frequently.
I feel motivated now because there's actually people that advocate for the game. Before, I've never met anyone that advocated for the game, so
And it's
I
a
feel
better
motivated.
and it's not this is not even a hot take. It's a better game than Apex Legends. I'm sorry. I don't care. It's a better game.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
much
Apex
better
is a
game.
pretty decent game.
Personally, I don't like Apex,
Titanfall is better. Titanfall is much better.
But what I like about this game is it looks like it's a mixture of RTS and first-person shooter, which that's cool because I am a huge fan of RTS games.
Yeah.
Like some of my favorite games, like XCOM or XCOM 2, are some of my favorite games of all time. And if this game is like that, I would probably like this.
It almost looks like Helldivers.
So I'd be willing, just from watching the footage, I would give it a go. I would give it at least a chance. If there was a free demo, this would be the game where I would want a free demo.
This game almost has
So
some kind of like
it.
tactical aspect of the game as well. It's like it goes like overhead and just like you have to set up
Yeah.
strategies and stuff before you
It looks like
get
an
back into the
RTS
shooter.
experience.
Almost, yeah. So yeah, it looks
Has
cool
anyone
though.
in chat played this game yet? Does anyone know? Because if it is RTS, I'm sold right away. If that type of gameplay is definitely
I don't even
meat and
know
potatoes for me.
who the developer is, but it's made on Unreal 5.
It says Team Ranger, which I don't know where that developer
I
is.
don't know who
But it
Team
says,
Ranger is. Let's look into that. Let's see. Team Ranger. Let's see what
yeah,
other games
and it
they've
looks like
worked
it's
on.
a PC game. I only mentioned PC game in the notes here, so it looks like it's a PC only or a Steam
Yeah,
only
it's a
game.
PC only game. The other game that they've worked on before was called Project Morpheus. I don't know that game either. So
No.
they're not a very big studio.
Here we go again with another exclusive, though.
Yeah.
We have another multiplayer game that's an
Oh,
exclusive.
so I'm reading
Yeah.
the comments for the trailer, and there's one comment that jumps out and I'm immediately sold. It says FPS check, RTS check, mech combat check, waifus check, 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 check. Okay, I'm sold.
That's
I don't need to read no more.
that's dope.
We
That's
always
dope.
need the waifus.
Yeah.
You can't go with that though. Rick Cat said in the chat, Apex is okay, but I don't see the rave that everyone talks about.
I mean, I feel him. I feel him.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree.
I
Apex,
like the
find
game. Don't get me wrong, but people who take the game super, super, super serious, I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Well, I find the game really difficult to watch, to be honest, because the gameplay moves so fast, and
It
I
is
don't know
very
what.
fast.
It is.
Very movement based.
And the fact that you're only able to watch one player if you're watching it on stream or something, and you don't get to see the whole match play out, I don't. It's really confusing for me. I don't like it to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
But
So one
Overwatch
other
is like that
game.
too.
Yeah,
But you can see the
Overwatch.
whole match in Overwatch.
Yeah. So one game that came out, I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. Is a little game called Stellar Blade. A demo came out for this game this week. What are your
talk about
what are your
waifus.
thoughts, fellas? I'll start with Germ, and then Heartless. You can. I have some
So
opinions, but I want to
either
hear what you guys think.
way, I have played this demo. I got the demo. I have played the demo, and this game is gas. This game is so fun. You go, Grant. I'll get into the way the girl looks in a minute. Just gameplay wise, this game is gas. It is so fun.
Oh, really?
Very much like it's also like Sekiro slash. A lot of people are calling it a Souls game, but if you ask me, it plays more like Bayonetta. So
yeah, Bayonetta.
Yes, I've heard a lot of comparison to Bayonetta. You're right.
Yeah, even though it does have parries and stuff like that, and defensive mechanics like a Souls game does, the action is much more like Bayonetta. And
they put parries in everything now, huh?
Yeah, so the gameplay wise, it's so fun, and the game's actually pretty hard too. Like, and every time you face a boss, it's a big event, like a Dark Souls event. It's really the big skeptical. But yeah, when the direction this game is going with like this beautiful protagonist, like I applaud these developers for taking that direction, because a lot of developers are not bold enough to make a hot girl look hot these days, you know?
I mean,
like,
I won't say anything.
I think it's great that you're just leaning hard into it. And the developer for the game did say to respond to the controversy, of her looking like that. Like, this game is made for adults. It's not made for children.
I'm so glad you said that, because I had something I needed to say about this game. But keep going, Germ, please.
Yeah. So, like, I applaud the boldness that a developer is being like, hey, we're out here making a beautiful game with a beautiful lady, and don't buy it for your kids. This is not marketed for your kids. It's not made for your kids. Don't buy it for your kids. Don't come at us. And I think that's so awesome. Like, just that attitude alone makes me want to support. So,
Heartless, what do you think?
But
I think people can just have the right to make whatever game they want to make, and if they want to make a game with a girl that looks like this, and they have the right to make a game with a girl that looks like this. And I think anyone who hates on that they're just, I don't know. People saying that she doesn't look realistic, but some people out there do look like this, and for you to say that they don't have a space in gaming is wild. I don't know.
Right.
And
the game looks fun though.
That's what I care about. That they designed her is a Korean pop star, so she is designed off a real person, So
But nah.
So
That Korean pop star does not have a butt that the girl in the game has.
She's
that's what
way more heat.
She
she's
is.
toned like
Mhm.
her. So I mean, yeah, she's not endowed like that, but who is? But still, that doesn't matter. It's still, it's not over the top. Kim Kardashian's
To me,
gotten
it's
asked
not
like
over the
that.
top.
It's
It's just
not
like
over
what
the
you'd
top to me
expect in a video
either.
game.
It's definitely not over the top for me either. It's not
Yeah.
like even her, her boobage. It's not even like Laura Croft levels of.
Those are at most,
She's
B
fine,
cups, maybe C. So,
right?
You know what's crazy?
um,
Like if those people didn't mention it, I don't think people would really be going as crazy as.
I think that's what built the hype of this game. To be honest, is the fact that people were kind of talking so much about just the character's appearance, and that's what it built a Streisand effect around this entire game. If you notice that, because now
mhm.
people are talking
And
a lot about the game.
sex sells. People are gonna buy this. People are gonna buy it just for
No,
this.
no, no. But what
This
I'm
game is
saying
gonna
is,
be the
it
next
wouldn't
Game
be talked
Factor.
about as much had it not been for the naysayers, people who had an issue with the game. So they
This game is gonna be the next Game Factory.
so they
for sure.
inadvertently promoted the game. So all right,
Pretty much.
so here's the thing, right? And this is my opinion when it comes to this game, right? There's so many, bro. I've seen so many memes around this game, especially when it comes to like the jiggle physics, right? And there are
Mhm.
people who are of the camp of the character's too sexy, it's very distracting to play the game. And then there are people who are shut the fuck up, let people have their, artistic expression. Because at the end of the day, this is art. This is
I
art,
hate to cut you
Okay,
off. I hate to
so
cut you off.
right?
But
let's
if
just
you
talk
can't
about that
keep
for
it
a
in your
minute.
pants for 1
Yeah.
second to play a damn game because you're being distracted by the girl you're playing as,
Right.
you got issues.
Exactly.
Well, let's see for a minute. Like,
But
let's look at a game like Street Fighter. I'm sorry, does any woman have thighs like Chun-Li? No, So, um,
but no, but
I mean,
here's my thing though for this situation though. My takeaway from this entire thing is, right, if this is art, right, and there's so many people out there that are allowed to do like take their artistic expression and share it with whoever, right? I think the people who tend to do otherwise should be allowed to do so,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
And that's just it.
and I think as I said, I applaud the boldness of this developer just picking a lane and sticking in it.
Hold up. Not to cut you off, Jerm, but so Mizu, which is Phantom, just came in and said, "Leave Chun-Li out of this."
Oh, no one's picking on Chun-Li
He has a
here.
point though. He has a point though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one's picking on Chun-Li here. But yeah, like Chun-Li's thighs aren't. There's no way, no realistic woman would have thighs like that. So why are we picking on
And
this
there's
girl?
tons of jiggle physics in Street Fighter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure,
so.
definitely.
And I've given myself a challenge. I'm a big Soul Calibur 6 fan, and I have taken upon myself to make this character in Soul Calibur 6.
Let's
Mm,
petition her into Soul Calibur 6.
She's gonna be this girl Eve, right? Eve for Soul Calibur 7. Let's make it happen.
Apparently Soul Calibur 7.
Apparently a character from what's the game that we played? That fighting game, Heartless that we
2B?
no.
2B?
Yes, 2B is gonna be featured in the game. I think that's what people are
2B? In this
speculating.
game?
Yeah, 2B might be in the game.
Are they? This is the
Bro,
same universe.
that would mean they're just doubling down
Yeah,
on
because
the
the developer,
sexuality.
because this developer has worked on Grand Blue before.
Well, the gameplay is very similar to Nier Automata, so that makes sense. But are these universes connected, or is that just a guess situation?
I don't. It's
'Cause that would
probably
be
it might
cool
be
if
just a
they-
guess situation. I don't think it's an actual
You
like
might-
it exists in the
2B has
universe.
become- What 2B has become like the most guested character in gaming as of
Right,
late.
because wasn't she in Soul Calibur at one point?
Yeah, she's in
She
Soul
is in
Calibur
Soul
6.
Calibur.
She's in
Right.
Grand Blue now.
She's in Grand Blue.
She's in Grand Blue.
Yeah.
I thought she
They
was
might
a
as well
Grand
put
Blue
her in Street Fighter
character.
now.
I thought she was a Grand Blue character, to be honest with you. She's not?
No, she's near Automata.
She's a guest
Yeah,
character?
Nier
Oh
Automata.
wow. I didn't know that. See? Because I don't follow that character that closely.
I heard the Nier Automata games are dope. If anyone advocates for them in the chat, like I've heard they're good. I heard the
I've heard they're
story's
good too.
confusing,
Yeah.
but the gameplay's fun. So
Mm. Yeah, bro.
the game
So
has really good representation for it's one of those games where representation, people that are looking for representation of different groups, they
mhm.
looked at Nier Automata because it's got a lot of that, and so it's a very good game for that.
Right. So another game that came out this week, well, not the game, but the DLC was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the DLC. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but what are your thoughts? I'm pretty sure you guys have heard
A
what's
lot
going on.
about Suicide Squad on this podcast right
Yeah,
there.
we've talked a
Um,
lot about. I feel like every episode we talk at least once about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
I called my shot on the first episode, Cash. This is going to become a WB searching podcast. But hey, um, um, but yeah, I mentioned it in a previous episode. I don't understand why they released the Joker. First of all, this design is whack. I don't get it.
Mhm.
It's so
He looks like
ugly.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't get it.
Wow, bro.
Supposedly it's free, but you have to pay for the pass, so it's not technically free. So I don't
Oh,
know.
I'll get
Like
into that. I could get into that part
I
in
would
a
get into
second.
that part, Cash.
Yeah.
But it feels like the WB keeps putting its foot in its mouth with all of its
They owe
games
us an
lately.
apology.
Mm.
Yeah, they will. Capcom apologized for their games. We owe 3 times more apologies for
Right.
from WB. But yeah, just a really gross design. I don't understand why he has an umbrella. Like it's not really. That's more
Bro,
Penguin's thing.
one of the
So I
things
just
that
don't get it.
one of the things that pissed me off was when they were talking about the character, and apparently this character is not sure. He's a Joker who's unsure of himself. He hasn't discovered his, I guess, suicide or serial killer tendencies just yet, and he's self-conscious, and he's like, who gives a fuck? It gives me a full Joker who's already insane. Like, please.
I
Nobody
hate
wants
this
to
world.
be a
Yo,
character
it's that
at that.
participation trophy type mentality where they just want to like soften everybody up. Like, stop, man. Joker is a serial killer.
Right.
And don't tell me, ain't no way this man has not figured out he's a serial killer yet.
If you ask me, if they're trying to sell you that a character has so different from the source material, that right immediately for me is a red flag. Like
Mhm.
they should just make a new character at that point. Like I don't get it. I hate.
And for
I don't like it.
Rocksteady, it's especially a friggin' wicked blow, especially coming from Rocksteady, because these guys have worked with the DC characters before. So you would think these guys know what we are expecting from these characters, because you guys have worked so closely with like the lore, especially when it comes to Batman's Rogues Gallery, right? And
Oh
the
yeah, and they
Joker,
worked directly with the voice actor, Luke Skywalker, whatever his name is,
Mark
Mark
Hamill.
Hamill. So if there's anyone who understands Joker, it would be him, right? So
But he's not the voice actor
uh,
this time around, though. That's the other
not
thing.
anymore, but but they have worked with him in the past.
Mhm.
He probably
So
looked at this project and said, I don't want to get involved.
No, it's a different
Yeah.
Joker altogether, because his Joker is dead from the Arkham universe.
I see.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
It's
But
it's
that game came out almost 10 years ago. What the fuck are you doing? I don't know what to
it's
say to you.
curious. Again, it brings up to the point we brought up previously, where who is WB surveying to know what people want? Because they're asking the wrong people all the wrong
Right.
questions.
Like, who is this
So,
game for? Like, I really want to know, because it can't be fans of DC characters. Is it?
yeah. And it doesn't really feel like anyone that is an upcoming DC fan, if that is such a thing these days, would like this. It just really, like
They thought
ca-
upcoming DC fans would be manipulated by social media into desiring this and that this is what they would want.
I mean,
Mhm.
look at this Fortnite version of the Joker. It's so ugly. I don't get it. Ugh.
Yeah, it definitely looks.
So,
He looks like a Fortnite character. You're absolutely right.
yeah.
Only without the cell shading, like cartoonish, like look. Right? It looks like a realistic Fortnite character. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. He looks like a Victorian age steampunk Joker that poorly done at that. He looks like a Joker that would be on what's that show, Bridgerton or whatever the hell. Ugly. I mean, I don't know if you ever played
They had
Fortnite.
a chance with this. I don't know, but they ruined it. He looks horrible.
I
Literally,
said
he looks
it
horrible.
before. They should have been, if their first DLC, if they would have come out with a banger character, it may have revived the game. Someone like Deathstroke or
I don't think
Nightwing
there's
or
any
someone
chance of
like that,
reviving this game.
or some character that people have been asking for a long time that are fans of the Suicide Squad. This was their chance and they lost it. You know, Mr. Freeze or whatever. You know, just a character that people won't like, that that want in a game. People that have been
Hold up,
asking
isn't
for
this
it.
woman from the Star Wars games?
Yeah, she is. She's the what is it? The mentor or master of the
She is.
Neodai.
She is. Wow, that's crazy. It's becoming like acting nowadays. They just use people's faces, like and they just map the faces and just record them, and then just that's crazy. But yeah, this Joker looks insanely horrible.
Do you think there's gonna be a season 2 of this game? I say no. I don't
How
think
many
there's gonna be.
there's hold on, let me do a quick Google search right here.
I think they're
Suicide
committed to
Squad.
finishing off season 1 because people have already paid for it with the premium game.
Mhm.
But one season, I don't think this game's getting a season 2. I don't.
Apparently
Um,
season 2 character was supposed to be Mr. Freeze, apparently. Or no,
no,
This
I
game
mean,
has 1,200 players. That's it.
a whole
that's it.
nother
Yeah.
season of content, not
Yeah,
like
bro.
not like new characters, but a whole nother season.
That's incredibly horrible. Wow.
Yeah, bro. So when the DLC dropped recently, it only went up like 2,000. Like the player base went up like
The
2,000,
max
bro.
players in the past 24 hours is 1,500.
Yeah. So it's
This
insane.
DLC is doing nothing for it.
Nothing, not a
Yeah.
goddamn
That,
thing.
all that happened is the players who already paid for the pass are
Mhm.
just getting their money's worth.
Yo, shout
So
out to
this
Rick
game has
Cash for that
essentially
sub,
become a
and
money
shout out for
pit.
that gifted sub. Shout out to Rick Cash, bro. Shout out to you, fam.
This game
Thank
has
you.
essentially become a money pit for WB because
Cash,
they have
25
to give
subs.
people what they already paid for, but what they paid for is not making money. So it's essentially
Oh.
a money pit now. Poor WB,
Mm-hmm. So
But
you guys want my honest opinion about this game, and I'm
go for it.
gonna tell you guys right now, it's not gonna be a very pretty like opinion piece, right? One, this game is fucking dead in the water. Ain't no coming back
Yep.
for WB. Ain't no coming back for this game. Rocksteady has tarnished their career, their legacy with this game, right? This character is free to play. Free, and I stress the free in quotations, right? Because here's the caveat to this shit, Heartless. I don't know if you know this, but in order to get access to the Joker, you have to grind to level 40 to unlock the character. So you can't just hop into the game right now and this character comes to you. You have to grind to
Oh,
level 40 or pay $10 to buy the character. So he's free in quotations,
wow.
right? So that's
I
the
did
issue.
not know
Yeah,
that.
so that's the issue people were having prior to this game's release. They were saying, we don't want live service games for this particular reason. And that's exactly what they're doing. But they tried to save face. They tried to do course corrections. Because even loot boxes were supposed to be in the game. It's not anymore. And it's probably too late for them to do it because the game's dead anyways. But the thing is, you're going to have to grind the same repetitive gameplay up to level 40 to then unlock the Joker. What am
How
I
long
going to
does
do
it
with the
take to
Joker once I've unlocked him? Please explain to me. If I've
how long
grind the
does it
game.
take to reach level 40?
I have no idea, bro. I have no idea. Like we played the game. Shout out to Bella Legends. We played the game until I got to like level 10, level 12-ish, and we beat every single character, every single boss. Here's the
So
kicker
you killed
though.
the Justice League.
Here's the
You have to
kicker
do it
though.
4 more times. You have to do it 4 more times in order to get the Joker. Just to do it a 5th time?
Bro,
Oh, wow.
but that's not even the kicker though. The new boss fight that they have, which is the new Brainiac fight, is just a reskin Green Lantern fight, bro. The motherfucker's only just purple. That's just it. He's just purple. It's Green Lantern. It's the Green Lantern fight.
I'm disgusted.
I am very, very. I didn't know about that level 40 thing. I'm really, really disgusted now. Later, when we get into Dragon's Dogma and we talk about grinding stuff, this is the absolute wrong approach.
Bro, I'm annoyed by this game. So when the Joker when they announced the Joker, there was no hype surrounding this character, and even like the faithful, the Rocksteady faithful that were trying to just hold on to hope and like, yo, this game's he's gonna turn it around. Like even those people are saying, nah, this is shit. We can't do anything
Well,
with this.
let's be a devil advocate here for a minute, Cash. Like,
Mhm.
what can this game do to save itself? You know, you said it can't save itself, but
Go
if
free
it
to play.
was to save
Go
itself,
free
what
to
would
free to
it
play.
do?
Go free to play.
What would it do?
Yeah, Heartless is 100% right. Go free to play.
It's the only thing they can do to save itself. Go to free to play,
hmm
make the battle pass worth having, and
But
charge $10 for the battle pass.
the thing with that though, Heartless, now that I'm thinking about it, if it goes free to play, you're gonna piss off the people who spent their money to buy the game.
Yeah, that's true. I
Okay,
think previously
okay.
done that.
Think about it this way: if I pay $60 for a game, would I want the game to survive or do I want the game to die?
Well,
Just
what
go free to
about
play.
instead of a free to play, what if the game comes out with the same price you paid today for it, but later, you know, like they do with like Ultra Street Fighter 4 and all that kind of stuff, it has all the DLC in it,
Mm.
and that's your entry point, but it's a reasonable price. Would that save the game?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No. But because and this is what pisses me off too. They said the game like every DLC that follows up after this will be free, but it's technically not. So you lied to your customers. You lied to your
Yeah,
customers.
it's very misleading for sure,
It was
and it's
very
just not
misleading.
upfront business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not upfront business.
No Soul
It's
said
like,
give them a forever pass. The people who paid for it.
What would that look
you
like?
know, you
That
know what
means they
this
get the
feels
battle
like?
pass forever for free.
But the battle pass is already
You know what?
quote unquote free.
No,
You
they
know what
should make
this
the
feels like,
game free to
Pat?
play and
Mm-hmm.
charge $10 for the battle pass. But
Oh, okay.
that would save the game.
That would save the game. That makes a lot of
You know what
sense. Shout outs to No Soul for that suggestion. That actually is pretty cool. That would make a
Okay.
lot of sense.
So the money I've already paid now
Mhm.
would be good forever.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
You get
pretty
a battle.
much.
You get a battle pass forever. Yeah,
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
that makes a whole lot of sense. You would make those people happy instead of being angry that
Well,
they paid the premium.
essentially, wouldn't the retail price essentially be a forever pass? If you really think about it, like, why don't just include that in the retail price at that point? You know?
No, see, no. See, that's the problem because that's the current model that they currently have. You
Mhm.
pay $60 and the battle pass is free.
Right.
That's the current model.
Mhm.
The problem is you can't get people to pay $60 for the game.
'Cause
So
the
what you
game is
have to
Philly.
do
Make it
is you
free.
give them the game for free, create a bunch of cosmetics in the battle pass, and tell people $10 for the battle pass, and people will buy the battle pass.
Because what would
Okay.
happen is there would
Well,
be
in
a
the state of this
wave of
game-
players now going to the game.
Yes.
In the state of this game, where there's only 1,200 people playing it, is that worth it? You know,
If they
that's a
made the
tough
game
sell.
free to play, you probably would have a couple 100,000 downloads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And again, the player
Maybe
base would
would.
go up. I feel like the player base would greatly increase.
And I like the idea of getting what you have now and then purchasing more episodic content. I think a game like this could benefit. Like it's called Kill the Justice League, right? So why don't you just come out with another Justice League member to kill like every so often?
Aquaman.
Yeah,
'Cause
just Aquaman. and other
Aquaman's not
characters.
here, guys.
Under
I
the-
haven't seen Aquaman yet.
It would be cool. That might save the game. Another 20 hours of gameplay with maybe 2 extra Justice League members.
I
don't know.
truly think though that free to play is the way to go. I would download the game if it was free to play, just so I can fight against you guys. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Or you
I
know
would
what?
at
This
least
game
give
should
it
I
a
don't think this
try.
game was worth a
At-
$60,
in the
$70
state of this
price
game
tag.
it is,
Mhm.
if you made it free to play, I would personally download it just to see if it was as bad as people said it was. Because
Straight
it's
up.
free.
But no,
I
but what would
try
happen
it.
now, perspectives would shift because now you didn't spend money to play the game.
Yeah, but that would be my foot in the door though, and maybe
No, I'm
the
agreeing
hype,
with you. I'm
maybe-
agreeing with you. Your perspective would shift on the game because now you haven't put anything in the game and now you're playing the game. So you could then like whatever you get from that game, you're gonna just accept it at face value. The thing is, where the
Wouldn't be
ire is
looking at
coming
it as
from is people are saying,
GameStop
I
as
spent
free.
money on this shit and I'm not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, I get what you mean, 100%. So I wouldn't be looking at it with the same level
Oh,
of
yeah.
criticism
Exactly.
and pay.
So
That's not a good point.
Yeah.
Big point, especially. Well,
bro, I don't think Joker is saving
Gameplay
this game.
cat.
The gameplay is repetitive as fuck. Excuse my language
multiplayer?
for anybody. The multiplayer is repetitive, but it's a lot more fun when you play with friends. That's just it.
Is it PvP?
It's PVE.
Oh, just PvP. That's bad.
Why? Why?
Um,
Why would you
because
say that? Why? No, I want to hear your perspectives on it.
like you said, it's repetitive. They make it free to pay. Okay, so the game is so repetitive. If I beat one battle pass, would I even come back for the next one? What's gonna keep bringing me back?
I think the battle pass would. I think the battle pass is what's bringing people back
I
because
said it earlier. It would need to be more bosses and more content for me to dive into.
it has to be
More
fresh
depth
content.
of
You cannot be reskinning old boss fights and giving it to people to play, bro. Like,
No, that's it. It has to be
why did
whole
we
new.
fight? Yeah, why did we fight Green Lantern again in this new season? It doesn't make any sense, and it's the same fight, 1-to-1.
Did
Same
they
Thing is,
fight.
think
for
we
me,
wouldn't notice?
for me, like think of the possibilities. How Jordan, Green Lantern. There's Zatanna from the Justice League. There's Green Arrow.
Bro,
There's
they have so many
all these other
options.
characters.
I think they're just
Yeah.
being lazy, and this again, this is proving more and more to me that this game was just a cash grab. And I don't know if Rocksteady is to blame or Warner Brothers.
It's
Probably
always
Warner Brothers.
never
Probably.
blame the developer. It's always the producer. Always the lead
Mm-hmm.
producing company. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like those developers, they always put their heart and their soul into what they're doing. They put everything they have, their talent, their art, their skills into it. Put out the best product they can with the time and money available to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always it's always the company above them that makes these bad choices. Always.
Yeah.
Mark my words. I'll die on that hill.
Mm.
Everything's about appeasing shareholders, unfortunately.
Yeah. Think
Yeah, you're
about,
right.
was it Suicide Squad and Mortal Kombat last year or the year before?
Mm-hmm.
We first heard about these games leaking at a Warner Brothers shareholders meeting. So it just shows you, like, they are only making these games to appease what artists said, shareholders.
And bro, remember
So
during the development of this game, Safton Hill and Jamie Walker, I believe, left the studio. These are the founders of Rocksteady. They left during production of a game, a high profile game, a quote unquote AAA game.
You know
They
what I think is
left.
happening?
What's happening?
I think okay, so companies have to appease shareholders, right? I
Mhm.
think shareholders look at social data, right?
Yeah.
And I think that people fear the bad side more than they embrace the good side. So when they see cancel culture and like a lot of the stuff that's happening,
Mm-hmm.
shareholders then begin pressuring the companies to making games that they believe is socially acceptable because they're looking at general social data. But then the gamers who believe in these companies then get the product and they're like, this was not made for me.
Right.
yeah,
This was
it's
made.
the opposite of the Stellar
Y-
Blade situation.
Here's the thing.
This is the exact opposite.
I feel like their focus groups are out of touch with general audiences because I'm pretty sure they have focus groups, right? I think they need to fire their focus group and then just start from
Whoever it
scratch.
is that's in charge of their marketing to gather this information, they need to fire them. Because they're the ones that are seeking out these focus groups.
Mm-hmm.
Fire them so that they can actually get the right, people, ask the right people.
I agree.
And Warner Brothers is one of the OGs of movie and media production. It's just shames that they've fallen off so hard, out of
Right.
touch with modern media and modern world. It's sad, really, to be honest. But you know,
Man,
I hopefully I want to believe in them, but as of right now, I don't. I really don't. The only thing that would bring me back to coming around on Warner Brothers is a really dope Superman experience.
again, I
Because I
feel
could be
like
wrong,
A Superman game
right?
is kind of
If
impossible to
they
be
were to
honest.
resurrect
Why is
what
that?
Superman is and what Superman
He's
represents
too
as a
OP.
character, they bring him back to what the character is and the soul of the character, like
Mhm.
they did with Captain America and all that, and Black Panther and all this. I would come back around to WB. But
I feel
until then, no.
Superman as a character to me, especially when it comes to video games, is too OP of a character. Like, how would you limit this character? Is it going to be a situation where you,
I
at the
even
beginning of
answered
the
one earlier.
game, hold up, at the beginning of a game, are you going to just like friggin' just nerf the shit out of him at the beginning of the game, and then you're slowly working your way up back to your full strength? So by the end,
Oh, okay.
you're fighting an OP ass boss or some shit.
What? Hold on. What if it's the kind of like Smallville, where he's like a
Learning.
teenager.
Mhm.
He's young. He's learning that he can do these things. He can't fly at first.
But Harless, what I'm saying is, remember, that would be the first game. How are you going to and then do that for the second game if you're gonna
The
make it
I
like
second
have
a
game,
two.
the
franchise?
second game don't have to be on Earth.
I
But
have
then it's
two
not.
answers for
I
that.
feel like for that,
Two
it's gonna be a different experience. Most people
They
experience
want to fly
Superman
through New
on
York
Earth.
metropolis.
Yeah,
They want to fly.
exactly. So
Right.
that's
So I
gonna
have
kind
two
of
answers
remove
for
you
that.
from the whole Superman.
I got two answers for that, Courage, and I
Mhm.
think it would work really well. Superman, um, one of his while he has all that power,
Mhm.
but one thing he has not within his control is public opinion of himself. Public opinion of him. So who's his ultimate arch nemesis? Lex Luthor, and
Okay.
he is some slimy businessman who can manipulate the masses to believe certain things. So what if the public was to turn against him? And hold on, he has to go into hiding,
Mm.
and he can't use his powers to his full abilities without revealing himself.
But then
And
that
that's
wouldn't
one
feel like
side.
a super. That wouldn't feel
And
like a
then
That's
Superman
not a
game.
Superman
and
game.
then or Superman gets framed for something, and the
Mhm.
other heroes have to come after him, you know, and he would be fighting
So
other
so
heroes.
so so Superman
So
killed the Justice League.
yeah, like, hey, I would buy that. I would be more emotionally invested in that than what we got now. You know, so
Yo,
you know, you
all I
gotta give
heard
me
was
that.
so Superman
You
killed the
gotta give me
Justice League.
You gotta give me that cash. You gotta give me that one. Like seriously, but from
Y'all
a
ever
narrative
seen Omni Man?
perspective,
Omni Man is
yeah.
OP. Yo, bro, remember, I'm a big Invincible fan. I've been reading the comics in
That's
2004.
exactly what Superman versus Justice League would be like.
Exactly what it would be like, bro.
But from a narrative perspective, that sounds really cool, right? I think
Nah,
it
they
would.
need to make General Zod come through with an army and takes over Earth,
Yeah, that
Mhm.
could work too. See, so there's a lot
and he
there.
groups
The
up with
tools are
Lex
there.
Luthor.
Yeah,
General
it's
Zod and
there.
Lex Luthor, they link up, not in like a woke way, if y'all know what I mean.
Oh
And
wow.
they come up with technology to really make stuff hard
Mhm.
on Superman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities it could go. They just have to do it. I mean, that's what, and that's a character that the possibilities, whatever direction you go, you could justify it, and it would be really interesting from a narrative and gameplay perspective.
Mhm.
I don't understand why they have not done this yet.
Now, Cash brings up a really good point, though. Superman is just OP.
He's OP.
You
And
have to come up with the way where the people that he's fighting can really kill him.
Right. So which is why I said like the only way you could do that is if like Lex Luthor did something with kryptonite or some dumb shit. Just
well,
find some way to nerf the character at the beginning of the game and then have him slowly kind of level up. So by the end of the game, whoever he's fighting should be an OP ass boss just like him, and you're just
you know,
leveling cities, shit
there's
like that.
there's there's one character in games that has been super powered from the day he came out. Kratos has been overpowered since the moment he
I
came into
mean,
gaming.
Kratos is
And
overpowered, but he still you when you're
He's
playing
not
as the
Superman.
character, one, he's not Superman, but two, it almost feels like he is still vulnerable because he's died
He's
before.
fighting gods.
He's fought, yeah, exactly. He's fighting God, but he's also died before. Kratos
well,
has
the
died.
villains that are in Superman's rogue gallery, there's a lot of super powered people like Zod you mentioned earlier, Heartless. That's one example of a
But this
character that
man
would
can
be
level. I've never seen Kratos really level buildings. Or maybe that might be a blank in my memory, but like we've never really seen Kratos like flying through buildings and shit like that. That's what I'm talking about. Superman is
Kratos
just OP.
bleeds,
Exactly.
Kratos breaks the necks of Kratos breaks the necks of dragons. I mean, he's pretty OP,
but he still
So
bleeds though.
Yeah, he's OP, but he's not flying through Metropolis and leveling buildings with a single punch. Or he's
that's just because he
like
can't fly. If he could fly, he would, you know.
Nah,
You know?
I still think Superman is an OP character, and in order for you to like make him a believable, like you need to find a way to make this story interesting enough where your characters have this stake. Like, is Superman really gonna get through this? If he's like like fully powered at the beginning of the game, you're not gonna feel like that. You
I
understand
think
what I'm
that
saying?
is the challenge. That's the interesting challenge was the character of Superman. Like, yeah, he has all that power, but he doesn't have to use it to win. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to use all of his power to win battles. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but it's not gonna make sense if Superman's fighting goons like Spider-Man and those guys kill Superman.
Right.
There's a way to. These are all interesting concepts. I would love to see a developer at least try. You know,
I'm
and see.
personally struggling to see a way in which a game can be made in which Superman is not OP that does not involve like aliens.
Yeah, because it has
Well,
to be
you
Earth
don't have
based.
to
That's the other
necessarily
thing.
kill
It
Superman, but
it
instead
need.
of killing him, maybe
Mhm.
the whole goal is to capture. These enemies are trying to capture you, so they don't kill you, but they capture you with, depowering you or whatever way. And so when you don't actually get killed, but when you life bar goes down or whatever, there's an animation of you getting like captured and taken someplace. I mean, essentially that would be defeating Superman. That's all you would need to do. So that would be the same as dying in his eyes. So I don't know.
I think the character again, it comes back down to just finding a way to make the character seem like whatever he's facing is challenging for the character. That's the only
Imagine
way.
if whatever he's facing has kryptonite and he had every sequence is kind of timed to his kryptonite exposure, and if it gets too high, he's capturable.
Kind of like
Yeah,
Fallout. Like
that I don't
Fallout
think
3.
that for an entire mechanic of a game, not necessarily, but like a small part of the game, I think that would be cool.
Kind of like Fallout, where you have the
There's not
radiation,
enough kryptonite to make this happen. That's the thing.
Hmm.
Like Superman can't run into a place where there's 20 people shooting at him with kryptonite
You
bullets.
know
Well,
It
who
just
would be
doesn't
a
work.
we
good
gotta keep in mind
first enemy for
Superman
him to
gets
face off
one.
against? The first enemy for him to
Yeah,
face off against in that video game would be Parasite. Because Parasite would suck the pause the ever living shit out of Superman and takes his powers. Because Parasite would then get his powers, right? And that's how he would have to work his way up to being like the Superman we
Superman
know and
again.
love. Yeah, and then fight Parasite at the end of the game.
good save,
And that's
Cash.
it.
Good
That's
save.
it. That's it.
Good save.
That's it. That's it.
uh,
That's it.
that guy has got to keep in mind with Superman. Yeah, Kryptonite's what he's most known for being weak for
Mm.
against, but he's also weak against magic. So if you put him in a game where he's got to fight a bunch of magic users, he's just like a human. He has
There's
no
that too.
strength.
There's that too. He can face
He's
off
totally
against magic.
vulnerable.
Mhm.
Killed by a bolt of lightning. So um, that's another avenue. So
All right. All right. Enough of this Superman talk, guys. God damn it.
yeah, quite a
All right.
tangent.
We always do this.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, Cat. But that was a good one. That was a good one.
No, that was a good. That was actually a good. I love that little tangent we went on. That was pretty cool. I found some clippable moments and all that shit. So
Yeah.
expect to
WB
see
needs
it
to
on
lock
our
onto this.
TikTok.
Be like, if
So
WB wants to save their company, they'll listen to that little bit right there. Because this
right.
is what we want.
All right. So another game that came out this week that I said we were gonna skip over. Now we're kind of at that point, which is Dragon's Dogma 2, and there's a bunch of like controversy surrounding this
Negative
game.
feedback.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say feedback. I feel like it's split down the middle right now, or not
I like the
necessarily.
word
So
outrage. There's a
critics,
lot of outrage.
the
in
thing
game.
is, critics are praising this game. Like this game is getting a lot of praise from critics, and gamers not so much. Right now, we're sitting at like 65% on Metacritic, and 85. That's a user score. Critic score is like at 85, right? Um,
I don't
the-
believe critic scores.
but here's the thing: most of the people that I've spoken to who actually played the game, these are not critics, are actually enjoying the game. So I think it's tied to the major controversies around this game with microtransaction. And I think that's where users are kind of giving this unfavorable score. Right. One of the other issues that the game's been having is frame drops, but I don't think that's anything to really like take a stick at because for me personally, I'm not a graphic whore. Can I say that on the podcast? I don't know, but I just said it. I'm not the kind of person that will let graphics break the gaming experience or break my immersion from the game. I'm not that kind of person, right? But the player versus critic score is kind of interesting to me, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about that.
Well, I am a fan of this fantasy RPG genre. That's one of the types of games that's my bread and butter. I love these kind of games. So the gameplay has me. I love it. I love everything
Mm-hmm.
about it. I love the micromanaging. I love the item management. I love the lore. I love the setting. I love the combat. I love everything about it. The classes. I love all that. The armor. Everything about it I love.
Right.
But the game feels like it's gotten a bad shake because people are looking to pick on the game for the microtransactions that are in the game that they put in there, like a whole list of them
Mm-hmm.
that are optional to get into. And the game's what, $70, $80, something like that. I
Yeah.
think that's a
Goddamn.
reasonable price for the amount of content that's in this game. You could literally play this game for 200 hours, like The Witcher 3, and still enjoy it. And I think it's gotten a bad rap. I think I
There's definitely
reviewers are right in this
misconceptions.
case.
There's definitely
I think
misconceptions
critics are
surrounding this
right.
game.
Yeah, I think the critics are right in this case, where they've given the game a fair score, but the average consumer has been kind of brainwashed to think that microtransactions are just bad, and this game is suffering for it.
I think they're
I
just
don't
getting
know.
sick of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just yeah. I agree. I think that's what it is. People are kind of
there's feels like there's this pitchforks and torches and pitchfork situations with the transactions right now,
yep,
and this game is the first one to get the really big, eaten alive by that.
right. Yeah, I really think
And it's so dope. But look at this gameplay; it is
yeah.
so dull.
There's an overreaction to the microtransactions, and here's my take to this. I don't know. Are you guys do you guys want to say more on that before I
So
hop in?
I'm ready to listen.
I've said my piece for the moment.
All right. So my thing is not every game transactions are similar, right? There are different microtransactions for certain games. But I think in regards to like single player games, this is how I would look at microtransactions. Um you can earn all the things that you can earn, you can play to just earn those things in the game with the option of spending if you want to. The issue people are having is they feel like that sets a precedent for the games industry, especially when it comes to single player games. And it might lean more towards trying to get people to spend more on the game with said microtransactions. So certain quote unquote rare items, certain they might limit the amount of items you can get. Yes, it's because you can still have the argument that yeah, you can get these items by playing the game, right? But some might be harder to get. And how would you then kind of like remedy that situation? Put everything else on microtransaction. So the things that you are hard to find, you're just gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I
That's
agree
how I
with
look
you,
at it.
Cash, where you don't have to buy them.
No,
And and another thing is the items that are on sale, there are a lot of like one-time use revival kind of items. I guess they
right.
make the game sort of easier. You don't know if you're gonna really even want that until you've actually played a decent amount of the game. At least you've gotten a little bit into the game, right? Probably a couple few bosses in, maybe
Hmm.
you're having a hard time, maybe you're just not, be able to put as many hours as you want. So you just want to play the game. Maybe that'll appeal to you down the road, and
Right.
that's okay.
I think there was also
But
the misconception of the fast travel. People were saying that you had to pay for fast travel, which was 100% true. It was like all the things you need for fast travel, you can actually get them in the game. You just need to play the game to find them to unlock them, right?
Well, and also that shows a kind of like a disconnect between the developers and the publisher Capcom, they're probably the same. But for me, a game like this, like Skyrim,
Hmm.
like a game like this where you travel along these beautiful areas, I love that. I love walking around from time place to place, and seeing the scenery and just enjoying the game engine.
Hmm.
And that's for me. That's the selling point for me. I would never buy that. But I
Every.
can understand why other people would want to
Hmm.
maybe have a limited amount of time to play games, or maybe they're streaming or something, and they don't want to waste their audience's, time with that. They want to
Right.
just travel from back and
Yeah,
forth.
so
That
like
makes
having the
total sense.
option. Yeah, so having the
Yeah.
option is that's what I was talking about. But What I'm concerned about is just them kind of leaning more to trying to like milk their audience that they already have and try to like again limit some of the items that are in the game to then push everything else to microtransactions. So it's like almost forcing you like, it's like subliminally or whatever to like spend on the game more on the game. You guys understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
So you're saying
absolutely.
Yeah.
you're saying
So
like basically like we feel kind of forced to go
yes,
this
so it's like
direction.
it's a little manipulative. And I'm not saying that's what they're doing right now. I'm saying that's what I fear.
Okay, I got you. So
Hmm.
there's not an upfront leveling up with the consumer and be like, it feels very shady, like the way they're purposely withholding information from us so that we feel the urge to buy.
I'm not
Typical
saying
stuff.
that right now. I'm saying that's where they can definitely head in that direction. Like we
Yeah,
know that again at the end of the day, it's a business and they need to find a way to make more money. Another way I am able to accept like I don't know if this is considered microtransaction or extra content, but DLCs that I have no problem paying for DLCs if it's coming with like an expansion of the story. So like an
like
extra
Dark Souls or like
30
Elden.
exactly, an extra 30 or $40 for like 6 hours to 7 hours worth of extra content. Sometimes it's even less. But like even thinking of like Witcher. Remember when Witcher did that expansion, bro? That expansion
Mhm.
could have been its own game.
Yeah,
So
and
that
they re-released the whole
I mean,
base game
mhm,
time, right? And
yeah,
like you sold it to you again for another 60, $70 each time, right?
right.
So
So I'm
yeah.
okay with those kinds of transactions because again, they have to make their money some way, right? So it's like that $170 that you paid for a game, that extra content that they drop afterwards. I mean, it took manpower to work on those games. So, they have to get
I
their pay
personally like how
somewhere.
you use the word manpower there,
Right.
Cash, because these people have salaries and they need to be paid, and they need to be paid regularly, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever.
Right.
And that money's got to come from somewhere. It
Exactly.
won't come from right when the game drops, because
No.
games drop off really quick these days. So
Sometimes they get bonuses after the sales they make. I think there's a certain amount that a game has to make before they can get that like almost like bonus. I'm pretty sure they do that as well. So
yeah,
you got to think
so I
about things
like
like
how you
those.
use the word manpower there, because these people got to eat. They have
Right.
families,
Yeah, people got to
so
eat,
that's
bro.
why
So
there's
I do
layoffs.
understand. I'm willing to pay for the shit I love. Like that's it. That's just it. I'm willing to pay for
I'm
the
willing
things I
to
love.
pay, but if I'm gonna pay $70 for a game that gives me 100 hours, I don't want to pay $40 for a game that only gives me 5 more hours.
I get what you're saying because that at that point, yeah, it's a
My
skew right
my
there.
for that level of content, I'd be comfortable at around 20,
Twenty
19.99.
dollars
And
makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
20 to 30.
Bro,
I'll
I
say
paid,
Are
20
they?
to 30.
bro, I paid $30 for the Pokemon DLC in Sword and Shield, and
Mm-hmm.
that got me an extra 30 to 40 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That makes sense to
And
me.
what is it? Like Skyrim. Skyrim, with mods alone, I can make the game a whole nother experience, and I don't pay for those. Some of them are not. Some
This
of them you
game
have to
looks
pay
like a
for.
lot
But
of
for the
fun, though.
most
I'm not
part,
even gonna,
you know,
like, I'm not even joking.
And
This looks like
the
a
real
lot of
kicker for
fun.
me on this game is if you look at this night physics, I look at the night physics, see how
Mm,
things move in and out of the light. I
right.
love that. That is such a cool gameplay mechanic. I've never seen games do that kind of thing outside of horror games,
Mm-hmm.
So I really think that's so cool. I would love to walk around in the middle of the land with the dark and just something jump out at you. I would get a thrill from that. I would love that kind of gameplay. So the game, gameplay wise, is amazing. This is my prediction for game of the year. I think it's a win.
Oh, really?
So
And not Final Fantasy?
I'm calling this one because I'm not a believer that remakes should ever be games of the year, but I
Man,
think this is my choice for
That's
game of the
that's
year.
kind of a.
uh,
You don't think remakes should ever be games of the year?
be-
Not yet. There's been nothing that is just like, whoa, that's so much better. Like I don't
I'm
think
kind of
remakes should.
so here's the thing. I kind of agree. So I was once in a live stream with Jeff Keighley before. I wasn't a part of it. I was in the chat, guys. Calm down. And I asked him this question where I said like, would it is it possible for the Game Awards to consider even making like a remake of the year type situation? He said if there's enough games that came out that year that warrants like a category like that, he would do it. They would do it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, I would always lean more towards the new IPs or the newer stories because there's also a new story too. So you got to take that into account, at
Right.
least for me, with
So,
when I'm judging a game of the year,
mhm.
because essentially there's a new story that is being told, and I'm enjoying
I
it.
want to fight
And
this
there's
fucking
a lot of other
Griffin.
games that tell new
I want
stories
to
that I
fight
don't
this
enjoy.
Griffin so bad, bro.
Yeah, but the game is dope. This is
Mhm.
this is a game for me. I would probably buy this game and play it for 10 years. It looks good to me.
Mm. Yeah, because even Resident Evil 4, I think it got nominated for Game of the Year last year,
Yeah, it was.
even though it didn't win, but
Great.
still.
To each his own, Resident Evil 4 was a great game. The remake was a great game. Again,
Mhm.
not a new story. I already knew what was gonna happen. So
This game looks fun, bro. Like that's all I think I care about. Like if a game is fun.
yeah, for me too. And and I think this game implemented microtransactions, I said earlier, in the right way, where it's optional. I don't have to buy it to enjoy the game.
Mm-hmm.
If I choose to spend the money, sure, that's great.
Yeah,
And it doesn't, but I don't. I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't spend the money.
because to be honest, I actually jumped to a conclusion the first time I heard of him. Like, yo, so you guys are charging people for fast travel? But then when I did the research, like one of my friends actually said, no, that's not actually what's happening. And then I went to do my research because we need to do that. People, again, please do your due diligence before you cast your
Well,
judgment.
let's add on that, Kat. When you say do your research, that
Mhm.
doesn't mean go on Google and find the first link that agrees with what your thought
Right,
is.
exactly.
You
Do
should
some
go into
extensive ass
Google
research. Go
and
to the websites.
you,
Do everything you can, bro, to figure out
you
what's
should
going on.
find whoever it is that originally published the source of the news story and read it and verify their sources. That's what you should do. That's how you properly do research.
Right.
Anyway.
But yeah, I feel like this is actually a pretty interesting segue too to get into. Before we even say that, remember CD Projekt Red also said something about microtransaction. Jeremy, you want to say more about that
CD
before we
Projekt
get
Red,
into the
the
episode?
maker of Witcher, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Cyberpunk, right?
yeah.
When are
Which is interesting because
microtransactions okay?
Cyberpunk, I
Tekken 8
think,
just announced their
well, it
battle
doesn't have
pass, and they also
microtransactions,
have
but
an
it does have
item shop
DLC
along with some
that you
other
pay
micro.
for. So I find that interesting thing
Well,
to say.
they got to pay their people, and that makes sense to me.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They have to. So
Microtransactions, paid skins. I don't mind that. I'm like DLCs and paid skins. I don't mind that much. What I don't like is when you gotta pay just to have access to something that other people have in comp mode, in competitive mode.
right. Yeah, exactly. You're giving them a competitive edge so that's pay to play.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely pay to play. No,
pay to
thank you.
win
I would
rather.
never
Pay to
get
win
on board
rather.
with that.
Sorry. It's pay to that's pay
Cash,
to
I have a
win.
question.
Yeah.
You play that Marvel Snap game, right?
Yes, I do.
You can earn everything in that game, right?
By playing, just by playing.
Just
You
by playing, but
you
you could
can't
also buy it, right?
no, you can't buy stuff. Like it's not that kind of situation. Like they have battle passes. I guess you could call those battle passes where they drop like 3 to 4 characters, but those cards don't give you an edge. It's just a new card
I
because
thought it
these
was like you
cards
buy
have to
the
get
pack,
slot into
you have to
decks,
play the
right?
game
And if those
earning the
decks
card.
aren't cohesive, you're asked out. So you still have to like play and figure out how to play it. These cards don't give you a competitive edge. It
So you
just
don't feel
doesn't.
like money spenders on Marvel Snap have a better experience?
No, they don't because I don't. I'm over free to play player, and I'm smoking people in that game. I'm sorry, I just am.
Well, let's look at an actual game that does do that.
Mhm.
Hearthstone. Hearthstone,
Which
where
is
it essentially
that
is
was the
pay to play.
original
Pay to
so
play.
the original creator of
And
Hearthstone is the guy that made Marvel Snap.
yeah, so in order to be competitive in the game and not get washed, you have to buy the packs.
Right.
And you have to buy a lot of packs to get the good cards,
Yeah.
and there's no guarantee you'll even get those good cards.
Yeah.
So that's the pay to win model that needs to stay out of all competitive
Yeah.
gaming,
Marvel Snap
in
is
my
not
opinion.
like that.
Yeah.
Marvel Snap is not like that. because you can earn like credits the more you play the game to unlock new cards. The more you play, the more you unlock. That's how the game is.
Yeah, anything that gives you a competitive advantage at all, even if it's just like a skin that makes your character harder to see in a game.
Right.
Those are the types of things that should not be in competitive games. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just to because again, I really like guys. I really play Marvel Snap. Like I play. So even with like new cards that just come out, you can still like you have an opportunity the same time when the card comes out to get that card. If you have enough credits to buy the card outright at that moment, you can. You don't have to spend cash to get those
Yeah,
cards.
but that also
Yes,
being
Mr.
said,
Lewis, Marvel Snap. Shout outs to
in
Mr. Lewis in the chat. Yes, that's what we're talking about.
a
It,
single player game where essentially anything that I do only affects what I'm experiencing, so what? I'm the one enjoying the game. If
right.
I want to buy some armor that gives me some amazing stats, my personal choice. My money, you know? If it
Mhm.
helps me enjoy the game better, that's fine. It's my money. I'll do with it what I want. But competitive gaming, though, no. That's where the line needs to be drawn, I think. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Hartley?
Um, so you buy a single player game, and you can buy the items in the single player game to make you progress through the game faster. Me personally, that's not something I would do.
Mm,
It's like I spent all this money on the game. Now you want me to spend more money to play less of the game?
right.
I wouldn't do that either, but I just saying I like the option of it. That might be like a new game plus situation for me,
Bro, I don't even
but
get me started on New Game Plus. Don't even get me on started on New Game Plus.
but
I don't know
all
what
right,
game just implemented you buying New Game Plus. What game just recently did that? That you had to.
Spider-Man.
Was it
Was
Spider
it
Man?
Spider-Man? I think it was free in new game.
No, there was a
New game plus.
game that recently said you have to buy New Game Plus. Someone look
I
that
don't
up,
know.
please.
I know. I know. Spider-Man is new New
I'm
game
looking
plus,
it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
so, but it was free. It was with an update, and it had costumes, like some kind of really colorful costumes.
Yeah, Mr. Lewis is
But
saying about Marvel Snap that yes, it's a choice. You can spend if you want to, but like you can also just play to unlock. It's a choice. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's what is the best way to like add microtransaction to games.
And especially in the today's age of streaming, where if you're buying something and it gives you this OP stats or something or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of cool for the memes, right? Especially in this age of streaming, where if I want to go to the game and meme my way through it for my audience, kind of cool, you know. It's there's no hate there with that. Sure, you might get a little criticism as a gamer, like you're not a true gamer, but who cares? I'm enjoying the game, so.
Right.
I don't. That's where I draw the line too. Is I don't want other people telling me how I should be enjoying my games. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Right.
be able to free to enjoy them how I like them and how I want to like them, and that's a stress relieving element of games for me. I just want to play them the way I want to play them,
Exactly.
and
I shouldn't be forced to playing a game a certain way.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, we play a lot of fighters in this community and in this podcast, but fighting games are kind of the same way. Like you have your fighter, but I don't have to play the way the character. I can play the character the way I want to play them. And sure, there's an optimal way to play them, but I can play them the way I want to play them and still have a good time. You know,
Right.
and that's just as a gamer.
So before we move on, guys,
Mm-hmm.
I did my research. I cannot find a game currently right now in which you have to pay for the New Game Plus. But the first game to ever coin the term New Game Plus is Chrono Trigger. But earlier examples can be found in games such as Digital Devil Story, Megami Tensei, The Legend of Zelda, Ghosts and Goblins, and Super Mario Bros. And
Mm-hmm.
I also found out the first game to have in-game purchases is Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion for $2.50 horse armor.
Oh, fun fact.
Fun fact.
Brought to you by the Heartless.
You
Bling,
got it.
Which
bling,
says
bling.
you unleashed all
The
these
more you know.
horrible. You opened Pandora's box on them.
Y'all missed that reference just now. I can't believe you
But
guys.
in conclusion, though, I feel like we
Germ,
are
you missed the
okay with
reference.
microtransactions in solo player
You didn't
games
hear
as
me.
long as it doesn't. It's not something that you can't earn in the game. Is that kind of where we stand? That's where I stand.
Say again. Sorry.
So with microtransactions on single player games, we're okay with them as long as you're able to earn it in game as well.
I'm okay
You
with
know,
that. I don't know about the general. Like, guys,
yeah, I'm okay
that's
with
the
it.
question. So that's the question of the day, chat. Um, do you think that microtransactions belong in single player games? That's the general question. I'm saying with single player games, I can allow microtransactions, with just as long as I have the option to earn my whatever I need by just playing the game.
Yeah.
N2 Alive just said infinite wealth post game, premium adventures, and new game plus.
There you go. Infinite Wealth. Yes, you're there. It is. There it is. That's the game. Infinite Wealth, like a dragon. That's the game that
that a
is
new?
charging for New Game Plus. There we go. Thank you,
That's
N2. Shout out to N2 in the chat. Let's go.
Big
flat out.
facts.
Is that game new? I've never heard of
Yeah,
that.
it's a new game. Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon is Yakuza. It's a Yakuza series. It's renamed
Okay.
to Like a Dragon because that's the original name
Okay.
in is it Japan?
That's the newest Yakuza?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
I've heard a
newest
lot of good
one.
things.
Yeah, but it's charging its players for New Game Plus.
That's just
Holy shit, this is crazy. Y'all seeing this?
I'm seeing this.
the bridge.
Oh, I
You
gotta play
see,
this
like a
game. I'm
game like
sorry.
this, I think offers a lot of player expression that, I mean,
Mhm.
it just looks fun. It
This
just
game
looks
looks
like a
like a
blast.
lot of fun. It just looks like a massive just adventure, a trek
Yeah, it
through this
looks like World
mythical
of
world.
Warcraft, but
And yeah,
so
I'm definitely gonna be playing this. But yeah, guys. If you guys want to hop in and share your thoughts about microtransaction being in single player games, feel free to hop into Discord, go to the waiting room, and we'll transfer you guys in. I can share your thoughts.
yeah, if anyone has anything they want to say about any points we've made today,
Yep.
hop in the waiting room. Are we going to talk about Eddie Gordo, or are we going
Oh,
to please?
before we get to the Eddie Gordo thing, I wanted to share this clip that we found on TikTok. Shout out to Jeremy. He was the one who showed this. And it was someone who's actually sharing his opinion about microtransactions as well. And I'm kind of agreeing with him in this video. Here we go.
When are microtransactions okay? Tekken 8 just announced their battle pass, and they also have an item shop along with some other microtransactions. The mere idea of a microtransaction in the game pisses some people off, while others may feel differently. But I want to try and find some common ground because the facts are creating new costumes, keeping the servers up, updates, it costs money. So the question becomes, how do you want them to pay for it? And this is a genuine question because another fact is that games do last longer than before. So how do you want them to?
So that's one of the things I agree on, right? Games are lasting longer than it did previously, right? Because prior to that, what they used to do was just drop the sequel to a game every year or so, right? Am I wrong about that?
Pretty much.
Right? So now
Pretty
games are
much.
lasting a lot longer because they're able to service these games at an extended period of time, which is one of the reasons why I think we have like one of the pros of live service games, I guess you could say, right? Because you can constantly dump new content into the game. Like think of Street Fighter right now, right? With Street Fighter, we know new characters are coming out like every few months or so. That's something we can look forward to. Now they have like skins and all that other stuff that they're adding to the game as well, which also keeps the life of the game going. So
I have an interesting point. After this guy gets done cooking, I have an interesting point that I want to bring up and see if the chat responds.
mhm. Oh, want me to keep going? My bad.
No, well, after the video. Is the video over? Was it over
No,
that fast?
no, the video's not done. My bad, chat.
All right. After he's
Them to
done
keep
cooking.
these servers and stuff going on for the year. Would you prefer just a higher entry point?
I'm gonna mute you, Jeremy.
Games cost from $70 to $80 to $90, whatever. Are you okay with microtransactions as long as they're cosmetic and affordable? Or do you think that they can somehow find a way to pack all of that cost into that initial $70 that we paid? They didn't always have microtransactions. What were they doing before? Well, back then they was just releasing a new game like every year. Take Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. Most of these games simply used to release a new game every year. Even
There we
if it
go.
wasn't a complete sequel, they'll do something like alpha editions. So that can be another option where you're just paying.
Pause for a second. So Mr. Lewis says in the chat, are there any microtransactions to join the chat? No, it's free. You can hop
Yeah,
hop
$5.99.
into
You
the
have to sub.
right.
You have to
Hop into the waiting room, and we'll just pull you in, and you can share your thoughts. There's no microtransaction here.
I'm kidding.
I
I'm
mean,
kidding. But yeah,
if y'all want to sub, like I mean, I'm just saying, but it's not required. All right, let's get back.
$60, $70 every single year. Free to play, single player, story driven MMOs, all of that is a completely different beast that I would assume warrant different rules. So, for the sake of this discussion, let's keep it for fighting games. What would you prefer?
Yeah, so
It's a really good video. If you guys don't follow this content creator, drop him a follow. He's really his stuff is always very nuanced. I really like his content.
yeah, I started following him today after you sent me the video. It's pretty cool.
He's good. He's a real one. I really like his content. I wish hopefully if we build tag him in the video, guys, when we drop this episode, we would love to have him on. I think he'd be perfect for this show.
Actually, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you're right.
Well, my point that I wanted to bring up about especially fighting games is fighting games are come from the arcade era. If you think about it, the original microtransactions were the quarters you would put in to play the game, you know? So I think games are kind of stuck in that mode where they need that constant revenue to keep them alive, you know, and to keep paying their employees, keep the servers, keep making the games, making sequels. And I think we've lost sight of that with console era, where you just buy a game for $60, $70, and I'm just expected to have that forever without having to pay more on top of that to keep enjoying the game. Especially with fighting games, which are always live service and you play online, servers, all that stuff. I think microtransactions are absolutely vital for the health of the fighting game scene. You need that to keep the games going.
Yeah.
Because a $70 game is not going to be enough for a whole 7 or 8 year game. It's
Yeah,
just not.
to some, yes, I do agree. There's some microtransaction makes sense to some degree, right? But when it becomes predatory is where I have an issue.
I have a question, guys.
Let's look at a couple of models of fighting games that I think have done good. I think Grand Blue has done a great job with its business model of giving you a free-to-play version with only a few characters that rotate every so often, so the game stays fresh and keeps you coming back. Right. But if I choose to, I enjoy the game, I can buy the game for the full price and continue to enjoy it, and plus they still get more money out of me later with DLC characters. That's great model.
I like
probably the best model in fighting games right now.
Heartless had a question. What was that, Heartless?
Yes, sorry, Heartless.
So earlier I said that I don't know how I feel about. So we didn't like players getting competitive advantages through purchases, right? But if you look at fighting games, I can go into comp mode right now and fight people who have characters that I don't have access to because I didn't spend money.
Right.
So it makes me rethink what I was saying earlier.
But do they have like an advantage per se though? It's more like because I think it's
they
more
do because I can't lab against their character.
But it's more locked to the skill issue at that point. No, you don't think so?
Well,
like
if I can't lab against Akuma, which I can't because I have the battle pass. Shout out to No Soul.
But you can't. If I oh, I didn't know you can't lab against a character. I thought you were able to like practice with the character.
Nope.
No. So you just outright don't have access to that character.
You outright don't have access
against them, no, because you don't have access to them like that. But you can still run into them online and in casuals and stuff like that. So
that's
essentially, kinda you can, but you can't at the same time. So, yes, you're right, Heartless, but it's also it's not the you would just have to find someone that's willing to play with you with Akuma, and that brings where the battle hub comes in and stuff like that, where you just have to find someone willing to play with you and run the set. Yeah, it's a tedious thing, but the option is there, and that's where if you want to just avoid that inconvenience, you buy it, and that feels fair to me,
Right. That's cool.
And if you really think about it, that's how the arcades were. there was only so many cabinets, and you would put your quarter up there and you would get next game. But if the guy was too good, you never got a chance to play, So, so this is, and so you would eventually play another game, So this feels more fair to
Right.
have those little optional transactions like that. I think, but there's, like as I mentioned with Grand Blue, I think they do it the right way. That's the model I hope all games follow. Probably Project L will probably have that model, or
Bro, I'm looking
2XKO.
forward to Project L so much. You guys
um,
have no idea,
uh,
bro. I'm feeding
I
to get
wish
my
fighting
hands on
but
it.
games. I wish fighting games were like in the battle pass. If you beat the whole battle pass, you would at least get like some sort of skin that's exclusive. That would make me buy the battle passes. But there's nothing
what I
that would make me buy the battle pass in Street Fighter.
what I hate is the way Capcom does it, where they have that free version of the battle pass, but there's big gaps in the battle pass. I hate that. Every time I
Mm.
level up in a battle pass, I should get something, even if it's free. I really, really hate that. But
So
Capcom is not.
Marvel Snap does that too. Marvel Snap has
Yeah,
gaps. They do that
I
with the
hate
battle
that.
pass.
What's the point of even having a level there?
No, because
But
they still want
there
you
should,
to
even if
have something from the battle pass, but if you
even
want
if it's just
rest.
a little bit of the in-game currency, I should get something for going up to that level. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
and when the Capcom, they do it the absolute wrong way, where they just give you cosmetics for your avatar, which nobody uses. So it's like, well, it's just a waste. There's no point in even buying that stuff. So
Mm.
I just, there's two extremes here that I feel Grand Blue is doing it the right way, but Capcom is just doing it in the wrong way, where they just want you to buy the battle pass so they can sell you a character months before. Um, but I don't know. And the way they did with colors, Game First Drop, where you only had two colors and you had to buy the rest of the colors. It's just like stuff like that. It's just really dumb. I should have the ability to grind arcade mode and get those colors,
Right.
and not just have to buy them. You see that's where that's where the issue is, and it's um, where I don't want games to do that, and I just so what I'm saying is microtransactions are valuable in the industry. They're probably actually essential, but there has to be a good way to make it seem like they're not just trying to take advantage of their customers.
Right. Right. Agreed. Oh yeah. But yeah, guys, I think that was pretty much it for the podcast. That was actually pretty good. I don't know if
Ooh, do
anyone
we want to
has
close
their
out with the
opinions.
City Gordo trailer?
Hot take, microtransactions are better than not having them. That was no soul in the chat.
I
I
agree.
said it.
I agree.
I agree. I said it in a
Because we
previous
want more
podcast
content. We always want more content.
where
We don't want to be preyed
if we
upon
don't
though.
if we don't have the microtransactions where I can buy the content that I want,
Yeah.
you're gonna end up paying $90 for a game that has a bunch of content that I don't.
Hold up.
So
So here's the thing. You know what this is kind of reminding me of? When DLCs just started.
Fallout 3, I think
No,
was the game that kind of really made that a
right?
thing.
When DLCs just started, people had such an issue with DLCs, bro, because if it felt like they were pushing out unfinished games and then putting the rest on the back end for the DLC portion, and then charging their player base to pay more for the DLC. That's what it felt. But now
Yeah.
it's such like the norm now. Like people don't have an issue with just accepting a DLC or getting DLC because it's such a norm now. Shout out to Nightmare James in the chat. Welcome in.
Yeah, I agree. DLC is the norm, but I agree with what No Soul said. Microtransactions are better because I can pick and choose the content that I identify with and I want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to spend a huge bloated price tag on a game for a bunch of content that I will never use. So, that's where I think that's where the stance is for me. And then there has been games like that in the past. If you think back,
Mm-hmm.
Games before DLC was a thing, there was a lot of content in a game, like World of Warcraft, for example. Big game,
Right.
but I will only experience a small portion of it because that's the only part that matters to me. So, and that's all I want to pay for.
Hmm. Oh
I
yeah,
like cosmetic microtransactions.
cosmetics are fine. Cosmetics are fine. I'm totally fine with it because you
like
don't have to.
Marissa, I only bought the wedding dress out of all those costumes that you could buy. Alfred 3, I only bought Marissa's wedding dress. I don't own any of the others.
So that
And
means you
that's
have a
just
bunch
me.
of extra points, right?
Yeah, I still do, and I'll probably use them later when Sagat comes out. But
Is
for
Sagat coming out at
now,
any
I'm
point?
content. Yeah. I hope Sagat. Sagat better come out. 'Cause that's what I'm saving those coins for.
Mm. Yeah, let's check out the trailer for Eddie Gordo. I totally forgot about that. Thank you, Jerem.
There any
Yeah,
Eddie
Nightmare. I'm
Gordo
totally
memes
fine with
in the
that.
chat?
Hmm?
Any Eddie Gordo memes in the chat? Because Eddie
I'm a perspective Eddie Gordo man. He was one of my favorite characters in the first of the Tekken games that I played. He was one of the reasons why I started playing Tekken. I didn't play Tekken. I played Eddie Gordo.
what an interesting history of the story of Eddie Gordo. As
Also,
a
before
character.
we even play this fucking trailer, sorry, pardon my language, but again, game developers, and I know this is customizable. We can change it, but enough with the fucking Killmonger hairstyles. Jesus Christ, bro.
I knew we were gonna go there.
Please, enough. It was
Well,
dope when it
Ray
first came out.
depends.
Now you guys are you're overdoing it, bro. Stargon has it from friggin' Prince of Persia, Killmonger, Miles Morales. Who else? Name them, bro. There is a whole list. Echo from friggin' League of Legends has it. Like, there's so many characters with this hairstyle. Enough. Like, Eddie didn't need to have this hairstyle. Y'all could have kept the dreads.
Miles Morales.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I just said it. Right? Eddie could have kept the dreads. You could have kept the dreads, put it in a bun, do something. But bro, why? Why a Killmonger haircut? Why? Why? Bro, it was so bad with Miles Morales that these motherfuckers cut the top of his mask off just to show the hair.
And he's got to have that swag of a teenage teen.
No, the exaggerated swag of a black teen. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Sorry, guys, my bad. Let's watch this trailer. If I can find it.
But what an interesting story though about Eddie Gordo's history being replaced by Lucky Chloe and Josie and all that stuff.
Lucky who? I'm not big on the Tekken lore. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm not big on Tekken lore.
Chloe. Any
Don't?
Tekken people know, dude, she is so stupid. She's like a Korean pop star that replaced Eddie Gordo at the start of Tekken 7.
Really?
She has like cat hands and all this like crazy stuff, like gloves that are like cat mitts. She looks like a Korean pop star, and she looks like a K-pop star, and she was the Kapawara representative at the start of Tekken 7.
I feel like I saw that character before. Yeah, because I thought she was trained by Eddie Gordo, but that's because I didn't know any of the
I guess
lore.
that's the lore there. And then later they released Eddie Gordo, and then I guess they were like friends or something.
Yeah.
Nightmare
Nightmare James says in the chat, like, how do you feel about DLC made 4 to 5 years later and sold? I don't know. What do you guys feel about that?
I mean, if the game still has an active user base and they've all been waiting for some DLC, why not?
Yeah, because think of Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is still going, bro.
A game has got to, or like Destiny 2 is probably qualifies for that, So like if a game still has a player base, if they keep making content and those players keep buying it, why would they not? That's the whole point of live service, is to have a game that people play for years. So I think it's great.
Okay.
Soul Calibur.
What's the longest running live service game?
They don't make content for Soul Calibur anymore. If they were to announce a Soul Calibur content today, I would pre-order it now. I would be like, you can just have. I would be like that Fry meme. Just have my money. And,
shut up and take my money.
Exactly. So that's where
So, bro,
their fan base.
It's funny you should say that, Jerm, because when I do my reviews, I have different rating systems, and all my rating systems are just like a phrase, right? So there's like absolute garbage fire. There is worth a refund. One's bargain bin, like 3 is bargain bin, 4 is pretty damn decent, and 5 is shut up and take my money. Because I rate my games out of 5.
Soul
So
Calibur DLC would be that for me. So either Soul Calibur 7 or Soul Calibur DLC, I would buy both, hands down. You know.
All right, so let's check out this Eddie Gordo trailer real quick. Let's see what Eddie got cooking.
Are you gonna play? Are you gonna play Eddie? Matt?
Yeah, more than likely. Very likely. Ooh. I like this character too. What's her name? Reina? I like her. She's pretty dope. Now I think I'll get Tekken. Who the fuck I'm talking about?
Tekken's not easy, fam.
I don't care.
Hard, yeah.
I will learn because I got Eddie.
I find it interesting that they didn't announce who the next character would be yet. Yeah. I wonder if they'll announce that at Evo.
Yeah. This is why I started to play Tekken. I remember now. It was because of Eddie. I'm loving this shit, bro.
He looks dope.
Oh yeah, he looks sick.
I wonder what beef he has with Nina though.
Eddie versus Nina, of course, no one like Nina, yeah. Oh shit.
What the hell are these people?
Oh shit.
Who were the homies? Who were they?
I have no idea, but that looks cool as shit.
That reminds me of, does anyone remember Mega Man Super for, I think it was Marvel Infinite, Marvel 3?
I didn't really play Marvel Infinite.
All the Legacy Mega Man would come out and do that big super. That reminded me of that.
I didn't really play Marvel Infinite. I thought the game sucked, but that's because I was looking for more of a 3v3 game, and I feel like it didn't meet my expectation. Huh?
If you're gonna play a Marvel versus game, play 3. It's
oh no, but that's my favorite one. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is my favorite Marvel game, bro. Like, pull up anytime, anybody, pull up. Even though it's been a while.
There's the modding scene on that game. Like seriously, if there's
I'm looking forward to the community edition. Yeah, the community edition is gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to it. There's so many characters that are in there now, bro. It's just insane. It's incredible, bro.
Microtransactions in that game would be awesome.
Bro, the community is what's keeping that game alive.
Yeah. They have the Thing now and Venom and a bunch of cool characters.
I love every new character I've seen so far. Nero looking pretty crispy. Bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's everyone thinking about Eddie? Eddie looks cool. He looks.
Oh, I mean, I think I've already made my verdict right now. Like, I'm gonna get Tekken 8 now because Eddie's in the game. I feel like these people that said they're not gonna play Street Fighter until Akuma gets in the fucking game. That's how I feel. I'm getting Tekken 8 now.
For me, Eddie looks cool. I've never personally played him, but I'm still waiting on Bruce. Where's my Muay Thai representative Tekken? The hell, it's been like 15 years. But he looks cool. His gameplay, he looks hard. I bet you he's gonna be hard to play. Just that. He looks hard.
Nightmare James says Infinite wasn't terrible, but I couldn't learn the game. Not my favorite. Preferred 2 or 3. Cash Heartless hit me up about UMVC 3 Community Edition. Looking to get a hold of it. DM me on Discord. All right, for sure. For sure.
Does UMVC 3 have crossplay? Because if it does, I have it.
It doesn't have crossplay. It's thing. It's locked to whatever device or whatever system. But for the most part, if I get the community edition, only thing we'll do is probably Parsec. Allow Parsec.
Okay. Yeah, that would be cool. Bring that to community night. My
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I'll bring Spider-Man out of the. I'll dust off Spider-Man. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yep.
Hey, well, Eddie seems pretty cool though. To drop in chat if you guys have predictions for who the rest of the season's going to be because they didn't announce. So it would be. I know there was that leak a while back, but who's on your guys' Tekken wish list? For me, it's Bruce. I want Bruce. It's been too long.
I don't know
Uh,
any of those characters that you're talking about. I'm sorry.
he's
It's Eddie.
movie
Eddie. It's gonna always be
representative.
Eddie because it's Eddie. 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 Yeah.
Bruce is the multi representative from like I think he first came out maybe in Tekken 3 or Tekken 4 maybe
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah, he's been in all the Tekkens except for 7 and 8. So it's kind of lame that he's been gone so long.
Yeah. All right. So before we close out, we got some closing notes before the sales of the week, Jerm. What do we got?
Yeah, I got it. All right, so for this week, there's some bangers here on the list. I'll start it. Resident Evil 4 Remake is currently on sale on Humble. Check it out. One of the greatest games, one of the Game of the Year nominees last year. The game just recently got to its was it Parted Ways DLC, and that was free, right? So that's another great example of great DLC. Ada Wong.
Wait,
We were just talking about earlier, Nier Automata, Game of the Year
wait, Jerm. You're kind of breaking up. Am I the only one that's hearing this?
I noticed it too. Something's going on with his mic.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is that better?
No, it sounds like you're underwater. Are you taking a swim? Like, what's going on?
No. It's raining where I am, so there might be some Wi-Fi problem.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It says my mic is disabled.
Wait,
Is
what?
it
Oh,
still
so
disabled?
we're probably hearing you directly through your PC then.
Yeah. It says it's disabled by the host. That's you, Cash.
What? No. I disabled you through the guest star, not through thing.
Yeah, check your Discord settings, your
Yeah.
voice and video settings, and
Yeah.
make sure the correct mic is.
Yeah.
Any better?
No, still the same.
Well, Carlos, you want to read the sales then?
I just to save us some time.
Yeah.
We did the Resident Evil 4, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the next sale we got on Humble Bumble is Nier Automata, the game or the Yora edition, and that is going for $15.99 for all my 2B fans out there. $15.99.
Good deal.
And the next game we got on here is a game that I'm going to be trying to get on Humble Bumble. The Final Fantasy Remake, $34.99, 50% off. Y'all know the drill. Cash, is this your Humble?
Yes, it is.
Y'all know the drill. Better click them links. And the next one we got on here is Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Humble Bumble deal for $23.99. I've heard of this game. I've owned this game. It's an amazing game. I've heard people calling this the greatest game ever made. So
Also,
I don't know if you guys.
Also, not to cut you off, Kai Cenat is also playing that game, and a lot of people are tuning in to watch him play that shit.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It's a great game. They kind of fumbled the multiplayer on release, but other than that, it's a great game.
Agreed.
It's a game of the year, right?
And that is the last deal. So we'll go on to our affiliate links. So the first one we have here is Origin PC. Are you trying to build the ultimate gaming PC? Then look no further than Origin PC. They're an award-winning PC building company, whether you're a gamer or a professional gamer. Origin PC has you covered. Check them out by clicking the link in the show notes or the description of the podcast. Also, this is an affiliate link, so any qualifying purchases will result in us getting money. Just kidding. It's not that much money. But it is, we do get a commission. These are affiliate links, just so you guys know, keeping things transparent. The next one we have here is GameFly. Looking for the ultimate gaming experience without breaking the bank? With GameFly, you can rent discs hassle-free. Dive into unlimited gaming and snag great deals on used games and movies. Use GameFly to check out games you're not so sure about. And once you've decided, you can buy it outright at a discounted price or send it back with no problem. Want to pause your subscription? Not a problem, G. You can do that at any time. GameFly makes it easy to check out games on your terms. Just click the affiliate link in the show notes to get started or the description of the podcast. Any qualifying purchase will result in us getting some commission at no extra cost to you.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at Heartless. Heartless on
See?
a roll today.
We all are getting better,
Damn.
bro. That's what it is. We're getting
That's
better
really what
at
it
this
is. You
shit.
just get more natural.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you
that
guys
was-
noticed, but the sentences that I got jumbled on reading, I just winged it. I was like, oh, we talk about money? Money.
Yeah, but seriously, what a lineup of games. That was
Right.
those are all bangers right there. Seriously.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Wait. I want the next one read like it's on a teleprompter. Oh, wow. Okay, Zilly. Next time. We got you next time.
Seriously. Was it Heartless on the news? That's gonna be your next career. Forget the restaurant.
Mhm. But yeah,
that was
tonight
pretty
was dope.
clean, Heartless. That was awesome.
Yeah, tonight
Thank
was
you,
pretty
guys.
good. Tonight was pretty good, guys.
So just to recap, for the question of the week, are you guys okay with microtransactions in single player games? What's your feelings? Let us know in the Discord chats, please.
Or respond to Twitter and put exclamation mark, not exclamation mark, hashtag. What the fuck did I get exclamation mark for? Hashtag GamerActualPod, and you guys can answer the question. And next week we could then read out your responses on the podcast.
We would like that.
That would be dope.
Dude, this was a banger show, Cash. I feel this is one of the best ones we've had.
So far,
We just
yeah,
keep getting better and better.
Yeah, I'm definitely inclined to agree. This was pretty good.
The weather today is 56 and cloudy.
It's raining in California right now. Like seriously, and hailstorm too. Hailstorm.
Sorry, I was just answering Zealey's
No,
question.
it's Zealey's. We're answering Zealey's question. Yeah, what's the weather like today, Heartless?
There we go.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys. Thank you.
Any closing thoughts?
Nah, that's
Any
it.
closing thoughts?
That's pretty much it.
Alright.
We're gonna raid out to the homie
Cuz,
Cuz
let's go.
Lightyear. We're gonna raid out to Cuz. Make sure you guys stay in for the raid because that counts a lot. It also brightens a streamer's day whenever they get a good ass raid and people come in and say what up and show some love.
Yes,
and
sir.
possibly follow. So hop
spread
in,
the
tell
word about
Cuz
the
that Cass
podcast in
yes,
his
and
chat.
let them know what you were doing over here. Let them know that you were a part of that Gamer Actual Podcast live episode number 6. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Much love, much
Thank you.
appreciation.
We'll see you next week.
Peace. Hey.